Steve Jobs taking to the stage in San Francisco yesterday to unveil Apple's latest products. The highlights: an upgraded iPod Touch with dual cameras and the same FaceTime software as the iPhone 4, and smaller, cheaper version of Apple TV that lets people stream but not necessarily download movies and shows from the internet. Dan Fromer is the senior staff writer at the Business Insider. He joins us live for some analysis. So was this a game changer or a yawn fest?
Not a yawn fest per se, but definitely not a game changer. I mean, these were nice incremental upgrades to popular products, but nothing that's just going to set everything on fire.
Well, the iPods haven't been great for revenue necessarily in generating revenue for Apple over the years. Are they hoping that people will migrate over to the Touch and that might boost, especially, can't believe it, we're just around the corner, holiday sales?
iPod is still a huge seller around the holidays, but that's true that the iPhone has definitely taken over as the growth driver for Apple. The new features should definitely help sell. The iPod Touch has become the flagship iPod. Apple says it's their top seller right now, and it has games, it has apps. So the improvements, it should help it continue to sell. Last year, people expected a camera. This year, we got those cameras. FaceTime video chat is cool. It's not really fully baked yet. It's still a limited feature, but it should help sell iPods certainly more than an iPod without it.
And Louisa.
Dan, hi, it's Louisa in London. I'm losing track of the products because there's so many that are being launched at once. You've got the Galaxy out of Samsung, which we're due to hear more about a bit later on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's the difference, though, between some of the products that we've seen so far out of Apple and some of the others, like, for example, Apple TV versus Google TV?
Sure, I think Steve Jobs is actually losing track, too, of some of the products. He kept calling the iPod Touch a phone yesterday. Interesting that you mentioned Google and Apple. Of course, that is the big war in Silicon Valley these days that we're watching. Apple TV came out yesterday, still kind of not a very disruptive product, has not been popular. The lower price may help that, but you saw there's a big difference in how Apple and Google are thinking about the living room. Apple is thinking very small, very simple, get people slowly interested in using the internet in their living rooms, something that's a very foreign idea to most people. Whereas Google is taking a much different approach. They're saying, we want to put our search bar right there on your TV. We want your cable box to go through us. We want to manage your DVR and help you search and do all these things that are completely foreign ideas to people. So very different approaches. Google could either have a huge victory here or a huge upset. Apple is taking a slower approach.
And he made a little bit of a jab toward Google, inadvertently.
A few jabs toward Google. He questioned their Android sales, and Google has responded, favorably to Google. He made fun of YouTube, calling it amateur hour, so some thinly veiled. But every time you see Apple or Google take the stage now at a public event, there's some jabs between the two of them. It's very interesting to watch.
All right, Christine.
Hey Dan, this is Christine here. The Koreans here in Asia have become very innovative lately. I'm talking about Samsung, of course. They're coming out with the Galaxy Tab Android tablet that's becoming official. How big do you think they'll be able to give Apple a run for its money?
Well, the big question, I have not seen one yet. The big question is going to be the software. Anyone can make a tablet computer. We've seen tablet computers for years. The question is going to be, Android is an operating system for smartphones so far. Apple did a very nice job taking the iPhone software and making it a very tablet-specific software experience. We'll see if someone can do that with Google Android as well. I think they can, and then it's a question of marketing, retail distribution, other apps that are available. Certainly, Apple will not be alone in this field, and I think they're going to see some stiff competition. Android is probably the best competitor. Samsung makes nice stuff, so they could definitely do a good job. I'm also looking for HTC to potentially do something interesting in tablets.
Just before we let you go, we've been looking at pictures of the event yesterday. And not to sound vapid, this is a serious issue. He wasn't wearing a turtleneck yesterday, but that lended to some talk about the health of Steve Jobs. And of course, he's so linked as a CEO to the health of Apple. Any thoughts there? Any thoughts on how he's doing?
Yeah, he got a little bit of a wardrobe change yesterday. No mock turtleneck, just a black T-shirt, and also it looked like different jeans. But you know what? Steve looked great yesterday. He had poise. He was funny. He was making jokes, and he looked stronger than I've seen him, at least in from the video of these presentations in quite some time.
All right, Dan, always great to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.